Wouldn't it be nice if your product just sold itself? I think many owners and marketers would just sigh wistfully right now. The good news, with SaaS it's actually possible. You can turn your product into the main marketing tool, and you don't have to sell your soul to achieve that. You just need to use some of the techniques which I'll explain in this video. Hi, I'm Eleken, the founder of Eleken, a product design agency for SaaS, and today I'll be talking about the product-led growth. The first obvious question is, what's product-led growth? This is a business strategy that uses the product itself to get it keep customers instead of relying on marketing or sales. Think about Slack. You probably used this app, but Slack's salespeople have never entered your office and they never started any negotiations with your C-suite. That was probably one of your colleagues who has heard about the app from a friend, signed up, and started using it with their team. Step by step, the whole company started using Slack, and nobody understands how you survived before. Now, how can you acquire users like Slack? Usually, your product can generate demand on two conditions. First, it has to be simple enough to show the immediate value. And the second, its audience has to be big enough for a product to gain traction. Let's be honest, if you're in some kind of nerdy niche fintech B2B app, your chances of product-led growth are minor, unless you're Stripe. Stripe used the word of mouth for its product-led growth. When a product solves a previously unsolvable problem for a lot of people, it can essentially sell itself without much effort. That is what happened to Stripe when it entered the payment processing industry. Before Stripe, businesses needed to sort things out on their own when building compliant payment systems for their sites. The process was risky, expensive, and almost unmanageable for small businesses. After Stripe, payment processing can be launched by copying and pasting several lines of code. 2 weeks after launching their prototype, Stripe founders presented their product to developers. Developers get great reviews, and it was a catalyst in Stripe's early traction. So, what are the lessons we can learn from Stripe? First, identify a gap in the market and solve it in your product. Then, deliver great user experience to gain a word-of-mouth traction. But don't count it as your primary growth strategy. Unfortunately, virality is not something that you could create for sure. There are more predictable strategies for product-led growth. One of them is demonstration virality. When we at Eleken agency hire new designers, we give them testing tasks to assess candidate skills. In response to completed testing tasks, our design director sends video feedback. Candidates get a link to a screencast video in Loom. Every month, we make dozens of test reviews. This means that every month, without any intent, Eleken promotes Loom to dozens of people. That casual promotion is called demonstration virality. Unlike word of mouth, it doesn't depend on the user's goodwill to spread the word. Instead, the app's features work as boarding seats. They attach themselves to some spot in the customer journey and wait for a moment to show up in the front of you people. Each time someone sends a Loom link, they both using and promoting the product, which creates a viral loop. All that Loom has to do is to make sure that the recipients always see the logo of their app. To encourage existing users to spread the word about Loom, the company adds a little extra motivation. With freemium account, you can store up to 25 videos in your Loom cloud. Once you hit your limit, you can either pay or invite a friend to get 50 extra videos. So what are the lessons we can learn from Loom? First, build demonstration virality into your app's tissue. Then, make your app's value instantly clear to newcomers. And intensify the virality loop with a referral program. Moving to the next trick you can use to promote your product, we can talk about the network effect. Some time ago, designers worked and stored their old files locally on the computers. Dropbox allowed the designers to save documents on the cloud. Finally, Figma enabled us both to save and edit drafts on the cloud. Figma's collaborative nature is the ground for the network effects. You share a link when you need some help from your teammates, or you are ready to present the design to your art director, or you need to present the final version to the colleagues. In a flash, all your design team is on Figma. That's how direct network effects work. After this, you send your Figma link to the developers, product manager, and the clients, and now all the project stakeholders are using Figma. That's what we call cross-site network effects. Figma's network effects are capable of even more. They can spread further. For Eleken designers, it happens when they make 3-day trial tasks for potential clients, or create useful Figma templates to share with our blog readers, or create a YouTube video about Figma's superiority. Those were global network effects in action. What we can learn from Figma? First, consider whether your product is a subject to any network effects. Then, Then develop product architecture to maximize network effects. And then think of your network effects on multiple levels: direct, cross-site, or global. No network effect, however, will help you to grow unless you remove all the frictions in the sign-up or onboarding processes. So our next vital trick is ease of use. And the first example that springs to mind is Zoom. It beat its competitors because it was the simplest app to start with. With Zoom, you don't need to create a login. It never asks you for a 8-character esoteric password with a letter or a number or an OL feeder. No bulky desktop apps, no credit cards, just a link you have to open and join the video conference. Among the dozens of video chat apps, only the easiest to use ones experience explosive growth. It tells us that impatience is the main trait of the SaaS users. They want to immediately solve the pain that brought them to you. Thereby, frictionless user experience is a necessary condition for a product-like growth. Do you remember an app that you ditched immediately? What was the problem with it? Feel free to drop us a line with your list of shame in the comments. Lessons we can learn from Zoom: remove the product onboarding friction, deliver the value before the paywall, and of course, hire good UI UX designers. It's important to know that even since Slack, Loom, and Zoom achieved their growth largely thanks to virality, it never was their sole growth lever. Consider a hybrid growth model. Make up for the lack of viral leads with the acquisition channel that worked the best for you: SEO, PPC, sales, whatever. One more thing to consider is user churn. Product-led growth is a very effective way to acquire customers, but self-serve users are hard to retain. I have a dedicated video on how to fight user churn. Please check it out. And of course, please like and subscribe if you want to get more videos like this. See you soon.